Morning, morning. How you doing? Gotta make sure that music down because it gave me a warning. All right, so we ain't trying to get things stripped. Over here straight vibing to it too. Top of the morning, top of the morning. Get it cracking on this great working Wednesday. As some will call it hump day. But got something for you for this great hump day. All right, make sure all platforms are set up. Let y'all come on into this great room. Right on. Just FYI, it's a blessing because honestly, doing this, it feel like y'all here with me. You know, sitting right here on the couch, having a nice warm cup. Speaking of, I got about 2 minutes to launch and kick off. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm gonna grab me a refill and be right back. And as soon as I get back, we're gonna get it cracking. So if you're catching this from the beginning, just fast forward a little bit. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get a refill on my coffee, and we're gonna get it cracking. I see you just logged in. Don't go nowhere. Give me 1 second. I got my water. I need to get my refill on the coffee, and yeah, this is a good one. You know what I'm saying? Good hump day, working Wednesday. Give me 30 seconds. Be right back. I see you. Thank y'all for logging in. That's an absolute blessing. I appreciate y'all logging in. That's what's up. We gonna get this cracking. Won't hold y'all. Got some good announcements and some good strategies too. So if you got a business, you think about starting a business, all of that. Oh man, this is one for you. This is one you've been waiting on. Working Wednesday, building business and careers. And a lot of what I'm sharing, this is the information I've shared with my friends and family for years. So I'm going to get to share with my extended family. So I'm excited about that. Going into some details. Bless you, bless you. Have a coffee with your boy Leo. That's what's up. I like y'all already. So as I said, if you catching this outside the live and it goes up on the page, it's fast forward. I appreciate those who has patience and rocking with me. I'm going to first cup of coffee. It wouldn't be coffee with Leo if I didn't have mine. Leave in the chat. Do you even drink coffee? A lot of my guests and viewers say they drink tea. If you drink coffee, you drink it black. You drink cream with your coffee, what is it? What you do? Hey, like this sound right there. That's probably nice, you know. Cool it off a little bit. All right. About 30 seconds to lunch. I got Big Fit Joe. On my way back to the camera. In front of this good fireplace. Spring need to fight back, y'all. All right. Make sure I put this on Do Not Disturb. All right, let's go. So, top of the morning. How you doing? Appreciate your patience. Appreciate you logging in and rocking with me. I know got some of my regulars that's logged in already. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all day ones. I don't know if y'all saw this thing come up off of there, but yeah, that's a little hot. I can see why McDonald's got hit with that suit. All right, so without further ado, thank you for joining another episode, Coffee with Leo, Balancing Life with Leo Richards. Again, if this is your first time tuning in to one of these episodes, let me briefly explain what it is because I have some great information and some great affirmations I want to get to, and I believe this is going to help somebody. So for starters, Coffee with Leo is simply a segment that I was given to start where we sit down, break bread, have discussions just like I do with my other people. So when I sit down with my people, when I sit down with my family, my friends, we have real life discussions, whether it's politics, whether it's faith, whether it's figuring things out, how to pay bills, whatever the case may be. And typically, whenever you want to conduct business or get to know somebody, you sit down over a cup of coffee. You break bread. You have lunch, brunch, whatever the case may be. That's what Coffee with Leo is. Pretty much, we sitting down, we breaking bread. We having a conversation on various topics. And so instead of deep diving into just one segment, then this is what the good Lord gave me to give you guys. So Coffee with Leo is breaking bread, having conversations about real life. All right. So what God gave me is 3 elements to speak on: spiritual, mental, lifestyle. Spiritual doesn't always mean church. All right. Spiritual is a connection with the source, the Holy Spirit, the Father. In this case, on the segment with Leo. All right. I'm a Christian. I believe in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So that's the dynamic I take. If your faith is one different, that's okay. Substitute it for the time being. You know what I'm saying? My job is to present this to you, not to convert you. On the mental side, there's an aspect that most people are not present. Most people are discombobulated. Most people are burnt out and overwhelmed on a daily basis because they don't know how to balance life in most aspects. And then life is the thing that we deal with every day. You know what I'm saying? That most of the time, we pursue things and those things have us. Prime example, we may pursue a new house. We may pursue a new car. We may pursue a new career. And most of the times, once we acquire them, without the proper wisdom on how to manage and maneuver through those situations, those things have us. All right. So your mortgage and the interest rates and whatever can be so high that you have to work overtime, 2-3 jobs to keep that house, to keep that car, to keep those possessions. All right. That career may be overwhelming. Your education may have gave you a piece of paper, but the experience in itself didn't prepare you for personalities, for atmospheres and spirits and co-workers that you had to deal with. The information in itself from the past was there, but what you need today didn't prepare you for this new job or career you got excited and told people God blessed you with. So what is Coffee with Leo? Coffee with Leo is taking all of these matters of life. What is your faith walk? What does the Bible say about these situations? Taking basic biblical principles and applying them to who you are as an individual. There's not a one size fits all. I attempt and try not to speak to things as this is the case for everything across the board. However, there are basic principles that you could take from Coffee with Leo and apply them to your situation where you can get the answer. All right. So that's what God gave me. Taking biblical principles and applying them, establishing your mind for mental stability so that you can be healthy enough to manage your life. Holy, spiritual, mental lifestyle. All right. There's an analogy that I would like to use, but I'm sure that analogy will take me off course and then we won't get to this. So without further ado, what's your golden opportunity? That's what the segment is about. It's Working Wednesday. Working Wednesdays is typically about business and careers. It's hump day for most people. This is the day where some people say it's the toughest day throughout the week when they work 40 hours, whatever the case may be. And so for me, what I would like to approach is a golden opportunity. What is your golden opportunity? It's your vision. It's an opportunity, whether it be career or business. Today, I'm going to speak mostly on business. And if you're trying to launch a business, if you have a business, whatever the case may be, and what God trusted you with. It's just like in the Bible when the master spoke about the talents. Although the talents is money in the Bible and it's coins or whatever the case may be, it speaks to the trust that was given to 3 different individuals and what they did with that opportunity. All right. One person took an opportunity who had 5 and he multiplied it. You know what I'm saying? He put the work in. He multiplied it. One, the 3, he multiplied his not as well as the one with the 5. And then there was an individual that had 1 talent. He was afraid. He buried that 1 talent. Didn't do much with it. When the master came to ask him, why didn't you do anything with it? He told him he was afraid that if he failed, he would be punished. All right. And so what the master do? He took that one talent from the guy and he gave it to the guy who multiplied to 5. Because the guy with the 5 put the work in. He was fearless. And as I say, there are 365 days in a year. There's a fear not for every day of the year. You can't be afraid to step out on faith and do what God gave you. All right. And so I will go into that. And the way that I go into that, before I go into the strategies of embracing and taking advantage of this golden opportunity, is affirmations. All right. So before we go into that, this is the structure. This is the blueprint. For this segment and every segment I do, affirmations. You got to speak life into your situations and what you believe. All right. So what are affirmations? Affirmations set the foundation of the atmosphere of your day before your day meets you. All right. This is probably one of my favorite aspects of doing this. Why? I get blessed by it. There are certain affirmations that will be repeated. There are some that are new. And I try to keep them aligned with whatever I'm talking about. All right. As I say, get a journal. Write these down. Document them. Take a picture of this. Go back and replay this. Share this with somebody. Why? Because you breathe life into existence and what you want to hear. All right. So we're going to kick these affirmations off. These affirmations are going to support the business vision and then the knowledge and the gems that I'm sharing. So my hard work will enable me to meet my goals. All right. Now, for some people, hard work is, it varies. You got some individuals who say work smarter, not work harder. All right. Some people who go into it grind mode, but then they get burnt out, they get tired, and then they can't do nothing the next day. I share often about how I've gotten overzealous with my workouts, and getting overzealous sits me down, whether it be through a stress fracture, whether it be through exhaustion, whatever the case may be. Working hard is an aspect that you have to use wisdom. All right. There's a way that you can work hard without burning yourself out, not to be able to move forward with being productive again. If you work so hard that you're exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically, and you can't do anything the next day, are you really being productive? So working hard should equate to productivity. So are you being productive in all your efforts? Or are you just happy to promote that you work hard, that you're busy all the time? Being busy isn't working hard and isn't productive. Having a loaded calendar isn't working hard and being productive. It doesn't always equate to that. So just because you're doing a lot doesn't mean you're producing a lot. All right. It's the whole aspect of quality over quantity. Working hard doesn't mean more quantity. Working hard should equate to the quality and the production of your efforts. So the efforts that you put into it should be so focused, all right, so rich in focus that what you get in return on your investment of your energy should display the work that you put into it. I love to say, you can see the fruit of my focus. Working hard should be the fruit of your focus. Think about that for a second. So don't work so hard that you're depleted energy-wise and you're not getting anywhere. That's why you get frustrated. You get frustrated because you putting overtime in, extra hours, and it seems like them bills still kicking your butt. But if you lock in and you get the fruit of your focus by being dead set, strategic, and sometimes working hard is incorporating help from others. Go into the paint and incorporate somebody that's more skilled than you in something, whether it's hiring a financial manager. Sometimes you can make more than enough money than what you need to pay your bills. And you're like, hold on, I make more money this year than I did last year. How come it seems like I'm not getting far or getting anywhere? Sometimes you need a different set of eyes. Sometimes you need a different energy to touch that. All right. So don't look at working hard as energy and time put into something. Quality over quantity. Make sure the fruit of your focus is displayed and you get a return on your investment of your focus. So if you need to contact somebody, if you need to get a life coach, and your life coach walk you through and give you strategies, all right, all of that is an aspect of working hard. Working hard isn't just energy. That's outdated thinking. It's about being productive and effective with everything you do. All right. If you fall asleep now, you will dream. If you study now, you will live your dream. All right. If you're in school, all right, I tell people all the time, you don't have to go to a college, and I won't name any and get in promotions, but you don't have to go to college and go back to enroll into school. You know what education is? This is education. All right. YouTube is the biggest college on the planet. All right. As a man, if there's something that goes wrong with my car, guess what I do? If I don't know what it is, there's a mechanic that tells you what's going on with that ticket and how to change it. There are so many elements of where they show you different skills and quick ways to fix something or a different way, and it's still safe. All right. If somebody say, hey, my dryer is doing this, my oven is doing that, instead of paying outrageous fees for somebody to come in to look at it and to fix it, guess what happens? You can go to YouTube. YouTube is the greatest, largest education platform that is mostly underused. All right. We've substituted reels as our form of education now because it's quicker. Our attention span has become shorter. Most people won't even watch this video all the way through because the attention span is set them up for 60-second videos versus sitting through to get all these nuggets and all this wisdom. All right. The same way they tell you if you want to hide anything from a person, put it in the book. Same thing. You got to study to show yourself approved. That's all through the Bible. All right. With all you're getting, get an understanding. Only way to get is to study. Sometimes study isn't just reading. They got audio. They got audio books now. They got all different aspects. Put this on, play this video, and let the audio play in the background. You ain't got to sit and watch me. You know what I'm saying? And get bored watching me. But let it play. All right? So don't sleep on yourself. Don't just look at sleep as literal falling asleep. Look at it as sleeping on yourself. All right? There's an artist, a gospel artist named Israel, and he has a song about waking up in the morning. You know, it's consciously. When you wake up mentally, consciously, and spiritually, when your spiritual eyes see. Some people call it a third eye. People call it different things. I call it self. Your inner spirit, your inner being. When your inner being connects with things, you see things different. You start using your left brain along with your right brain. Now you're getting it. All right. So don't sleep on yourself. Don't look at sleep as just laying down and dozing off. You sleepwalking in life. All right. Stop sleepwalking in life. Wake up. If you're sitting down, if you're laying down, and you're really not putting effort for it, you're sleeping on yourself and you're missing opportunities. All right. So if you have a vision, if you have a baby, if you have a dream, I'm gonna talk to you and help you get to how to take that to the next level. All right. Doors are opening for me. All right. As long as you don't sleep on yourself, as long as you keep it moving, all right, guess what happens? When you put the energy out there of something that you really want and desire, guess what happens? It comes to you. God sends you labors across your path. When you put that energy into the atmosphere, that, yeah, I'm going for it. All right. Most people say, I want to be a millionaire. All right. I'm going to do you one better. I'm a LeBron James fan. I love that he didn't settle for being a millionaire. The brother's a billionaire before he even retires from playing basketball. All right. There are soccer players. There are people that are billionaires. All right. You got people that are working toward being trillionaires. Being a millionaire is small-minded to me. All right. That's no insult to anybody who says they want to be a millionaire. You don't catch me talking about I want to be a millionaire. You don't even catch me talking about chasing a bag or wanting that money. Why? Because I understand if you apply the principles, that's hope to me. To me, people that talk like that is hoping that it happened. All right. Ain't nothing wrong with hope, you know, and whatnot. Unless, you know what I'm saying, it's just that. Unless you're not putting effort toward it. So I'm not going to be a person that's going to sit here and pump you up. I can have, man, so many more followers. I can be doing so many more numbers if I took the route of telling y'all this is how to get the bag. If every episode was about how to get money and whatnot, and I can tell you, I can give you the blueprint to that. I believe in teaching the principles. If you get these foundations and these principles, you know what I'm saying? This is how you do it. You know what? How doors open up for me? I use my granddad. I love my granddad, Jody Luster. Rest in peace. All right. So one of the things that I learned as a kid, I was in church and I heard about this guy named Abraham, and I heard about this rich African guy. And one of the things that I read about them was they didn't ask for handouts; they prayed for wisdom. All right, Abraham prayed for wisdom. He acquired the knowledge and the wisdom, and that helped him gain riches. All right. So as a kid, early on, I started praying to God, give me wisdom. Now, I didn't know what came with the territory. I didn't know all HE double hockey stick was going to be let loose in life. But guess what? Through life circumstances and situations, I learned. All right. I didn't know that was the way God was going to bring it to me. There's a clip where a guy explains all of these things he asked God for, and he gave it to him through a different aspect of how he imagined he would get it. My point is, doors open up for you when you pursue those doors. All right. I got a front door that if I want to go outside, I got to grab that handle. All right. Sometimes doors only open when you grab the handle and you open them for yourself. All right. Most people tell you all the time, don't nobody care about what you're going through or what's really going on. They don't mean nobody's not empathetic, sympathetic, and won't be there and assist you. But all in all, grab that door handle. You know what I'm saying? You can't wait for the door to automatically open. Even when you go to a mall and they got automatic doors, and if that door get jammed and it won't slide or whatever, they got a manual door that you got to go grab. So even if there's an easy button door and it slides and manually opens and closes, guess what? If it fails, then what? Are you just going to stand there? All right. So for doors to open up for you, you got to go grab that handle. You got to slide it open. You know what I'm saying? When you go to your kitchen, do your pantry doors automatically open? Now, for somebody who got that dust, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got the little wave and electronics and whatnot is installed. I ain't talking about that. Don't get smart with me. But for the most part, for most of our pantries and cabinets, you know what I'm saying? It got a handle on it, and you got to pull the door open, right? Don't sit and wait on anything. Go get it. All right. So doors are opening. All right. So sometimes that means it's being presented to you to see what you're going to do. If you're going to grab that handle and go ahead and open it. All right. I am an inspiration to others. Now, this is one that's consistent. I love coming back to this one. Why? Because your vision, your business, who you are is an inspiration to somebody. It's somebody that absolutely needs to know what you know and needs your energy. All right. Some of us are the first in our families to do ABCD. Some of us are individuals that are learning on the fly. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It ain't a whole lot of folks that, you know, you can really look and be like, hey, yeah, I had somebody teach me this or that. All right. So hold on one sec. That light hitting. All right. So people who invest in their future are realists. All right. Why did I capitalize people who invest? Why did I blow that up? I had to blow that up because at the end of the day, people who invest, I made that big on purpose. All right. So again, what I say about, you got some folks that's gonna hope, you got some people that's gonna do. All right. And doing means there's an investment, whether that be an investment in time and blocking out the distractions and setting yourself apart from other individuals who are not on what you own. All right. Whether it's the investment financially, emotionally, mentally, whatever you do, there's an investment. All right. Anytime you make a deposit of something, there's a withdrawal. All right. So there's going to be a withdrawal of energy. You got to be mindful who you deposit your energy into if there's not going to be a return on investment. All right. So what does your future look like? What do you desire your future to look like? What do you want to accomplish for your future? All of that matters, man. All right. So either you're going to take the opportunity to say, hey, let me look to see what I'm going to need to get ABCD done. And then you're going to either invest into it or you're going to sit and see if that door going to open on its own. Remember, those doors are not automatic in all cases, where God not going to magically come down and open these doors for you. All right. It's just like the story that y'all hear everybody say about the man that was out on the boat in the little fishing boat and it tipped over and he was out there swimming trying to tread water, and then God sent 3 different boats and individuals to come by, and he was like, nah, I'm waiting on God to come and save me. And then when he died, he went to heaven. He was like, God, why you save me? He told him, fool, I sent 3 different boats your way. Same thing. Stop waiting on God himself to come down, you know what I'm saying, and work with you directly, or even talk to you directly. Sometimes he talking to you through people like Leo Richards. I'm saying, you got to open your ear gates. You know what I'm saying? If you're that selective that you only want to hear from certain individuals, you may be missing out on your blessings. All right. So you have to invest. Invest your time, your energy, your prayers. All right. Sometimes you got investment means withdrawing and having some discipline, whether it be something that you don't do. All right. Sometimes it's creating a budget so that you can use whatever you were spending over here to put over there. So all of that goes into investment. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to display some discipline to invest into the right area. Sometimes we was investing into the wrong area. Redirect your investment. All right. Reshape your portfolio. And we're going to talk about the portfolio in a minute. All right. Failure is sometimes necessary to succeed. I'm restarting from the experience. All right. So if this is your first time starting something, it may not be your last time. Most people that have success, you know, they don't get it right the first, second, third, fifth time. All right. I did a Mindful Monday and I gave tribute to so many people. And I did a Working Wednesday that gave tribute to so many people that didn't have their success kick off until after their 40s, 50s, and 60s. You know what I'm saying? Most people in businesses that you see now, Vera Wayne, Samuel Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Most of these folks didn't kick off till, you know, after 40, 50, and 60. All right. It's never too late. You're not behind the 8 ball. Sometimes you're right where you need to be at. The life experience that you had and the journey that you had shaped you for this moment. So don't look at it as, man, I see these 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds kicking it and whatnot. And then sometimes you see people, they get it too soon and they burn out. And then all of a sudden they don't have it no more. They didn't know how to manage it. And so you have to understand sometimes your journey is preparing you to properly manage the blessings that's coming. You can get a blessing way too soon. You know what I'm saying? You can give your kid something way too soon. If you got a 5-year-old and you want to give them everything you never had, would you give that 5-year-old Rolls Royce today and trust them to drive it? You barely let a 16-year-old get a car of a certain value until they learn how to drive, till they have their first accident, until they scrape enough curbs to where they know how to whip a little different. You know what I'm saying? There's something about how I can lay back and whip a little different now than when I was 16. You couldn't give me a Maybach at 16, you know what I'm saying? Because I can ride it, but I don't even have the wisdom to know if somebody about to jack me for that joint. It's so many elements of the wisdom of how I have now. Now I know if I get a car of a certain value, I'm taking to get that maintenance check every 3 months, no matter what. It don't matter if it's tick or not. When you have a certain maturity in a certain space in life, there's certain things you don't know yet. So that's the term. You don't know what you don't know. So failure at times is a great thing if you see it the right way. Stop being embarrassed and stop having this journey to want to look a certain way for people around you. And I'm going to get to that. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the Proverbs. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I see this clock rolling and I was like, oh. So for this segment, if I go over, I'm telling y'all, if I go over, I just go over. Because this is some good information. And you need every bit of it, especially if you're trying to build something. All right. So look at failure as a blessing in disguise. Look at it as it's sharpening you. It's getting you prepared for the next one. If I didn't have failure, I wouldn't be in front of this camera. There are so many things that I've done that even now, when I was sending the email out and the message out to one of my guests, guess what? I realized something that I can add to my repertoire and that I need to do. I have to find a way to incorporate that. So sometimes it's learning what not to do, what you need to incorporate, what you need to replace. Don't look at failure as a bad thing. I embrace failure. I embrace failure because how can I get better? You know what I'm saying? If you claim that you're a 10, where do you have room to really grow? how can God pour more into you? So don't look at failure as something whereas, dang, no. Failure is something that, man, if you fail enough times, when you finally get it right, it makes the celebration that much sweeter, man. I'm telling you. So don't look at when something didn't work out. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship, business, whatever. When something doesn't work out, it's the journey. All right. I'm gonna take this down. So I'm gonna share something with you real quick. All right. So about the journey. Kobe Bryant spoke about the journey. I'm gonna tell you about a situation of mine that the journey blessed me. All right. I'm a hiker. I love getting outdoors. I'm an avid hiker. All right. Let me tell you. So I went to Tennessee, Smoky Mountain, and I had rented a cabin. You know what I'm saying? And I had this cabin. I was out there by myself, and I wanted to hike up this mountain. It was over 6,000 feet elevation and all of that. And my whole aspect was, I'm going to make it to the top. You know what I'm saying? This was my first time ever trying to hike that far and that high. And through the aspect of this hike, all right, so there's a waterfall, you know what I'm saying, before you even make it to the trail to go into these woods all the way to the top. And so going through, there's this place sees thousands of people a day through the spring and the summer and whatnot. So leading up to the waterfall, there's a pavement that they created to support the ground because there's so many people. But the pavement stops at the waterfall because that's where most people go. And they typically don't go further than the waterfall. There's a trail. You got to climb over rocks and limbs and whatever to get to the trail to get to the mountain. All right. So if you didn't know it was there, you barely can identify it because it looks like a dead end once you get to the waterfall. All right. So your boy, he was like, nah, I want to go to the top. So I call this the road less traveled. All right. In the journey. So for me, I'm getting excited. Why? Because here it is. It's this gorgeous waterfall. And in my head, I'm like, man, I wonder what the top is like. I know I can see over all the trees. I can get a view nobody else can get pictures nobody else can get. I can't wait to get to the top. All right. So it was a couple that was coming down from the trail that I ran into. And this couple, they was in search of something totally different. They was looking for tulip trees. Tulip trees are huge and round. Some of the largest trees that goes in a diameter shape. And so they can be 17 to 20 feet round. That's huge. All right. So they're distinctive. You can tell a tulip tree. They're huge. And just like oak trees, these can be hundreds of years old. You know what I'm saying? And the older they are, of course, they get wide. So they was on search for that. As they were coming down, I did ask them, hey, did they make it up to the top and what it looked like? They were able to tell me, they're like, you know what? No, we never made it up there. All right. Sometimes in life, you're gonna cross people that look like they're ahead of you and that they've made it further, but their destination isn't your destination. All right. So I kept going up this trail. I said, all right, cool. So I'm excited. My whole focus was to get up to this top. All right. So I finally made it. I finally made it. And when I made it, it was nothing that I imagined. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a pool of toxic water. They had some instrumental towers up there, where they do research and whatnot. It looked like somebody had camped out, but it was nothing that I imagined. I'm like, wow. This is a bum. All right. And so as I began to descend back down, self let me know. He say, it wasn't what was at the top for you. It was the experience of everything you saw and experienced on the way up. So much so that on the way down, I started seeing different things, different bugs and trees and different things that I didn't see on the way up because my focus wasn't on what was around me. All right. So I had an even better experience navigating back down. So I saw something totally different going up. I saw something coming back down. All right. And so you have to understand the journey. There's so much in the journey of where you're going that sometimes we get so fixated on getting to the end, getting to riches, getting to a bag, getting into a comfortable position that we're missing out on the greatest blessing, which is the journey. The journey is something that you can never get back. And if you miss out on embracing the moment, what are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? All right. I had to share it with you. because I believe somebody needs to hear that. All right. So attracting new opportunities. All right. So when today is over, it will never come back. And that's why I had to share that. You know what I'm saying? I had to get ahead of the affirmation of the day so that you can understand what it means. When today is over, it would never come back. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity today that's only for today. There are people you come across that is for that moment. There are opportunities that present themselves that you can say, now I do it tomorrow. We all have loved ones. We all have family members, friends that are no longer in existence, no longer breathing the same air that we said we was going to get them a call. We was going to do ABC. And when they went on, then you see people at the home going that are kicking over chairs and flipping pews over because they didn't do what they were supposed to do when that person was available to them. All right? Embrace your now. Don't count your blessings for tomorrow. All right? So when today is over, it's over, y'all. Embrace the now. All right? So Proverbs of the day. All right? So I love these Proverbs, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Go back to the other videos. I won't go through the whole aspect of there's a proverb for every day of the month. I'm not going over the aspect, that, what I'm saying, if you get sleepy when you read, start with a verse, I ain't going to go over all of that. I'm going to get right into it. So I love this proverb. Why? Because it goes over what all of us experience when we have a vision, when we want to do something. And I'm going to break this down to you. All right. So the proverb of today, the time of this recording was the 21st. So whatever day of the week it is for you, as you watching this, go read that proverb of that day. If it's the 14th, 15th, whatever. All right. Because I'm believing you're going to go to YouTube and watch this later. All right. Proverb of the day, 21 and 11. This is the amplified version. You know what I'm saying? Makes it a little more precise. When the scoffer is punished, and I'll tell you what the scoffer is if you don't know what a scoffer is. I'm not going to insult your intelligence, but I still want to explain it. All right. When the scoffer is punished, the naive observes the lesson. I always say, learn what not to do from other folks. You don't have to make all these mistakes. Learn from other folks. All right. And becomes wise. But when the wise and the teachable person is instructed, he receives knowledge. If acquiring information is gaining knowledge, wisdom is knowing what to do with the knowledge. So you can acquire knowledge by watching something. Then you also have to pray for wisdom on what to do with that knowledge. All right. So I'm going to go back to what scoffer is, the naive person and the wise person. All right. So understand this. So one, what's the scoffer? We all got scoffers. I love this, man. Scoffers are, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be people who don't even want to see you win because they not winning. Scoffers, those doubters. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell your vision, your dreams, your plans to a person with a limited mindset. People who don't have anything in life, don't want anything in life, who don't believe in themselves, they try to keep you where you at. We always speak about a crab in the bucket mentality. You know what I'm saying? The crab in the bucket mentality, as you climbing out the bucket, as you're pursuing a better life. If we grew up in the inner city, which I did, and then somebody moves up the hill into a suburban area, why you want to be like them light-skinned cousins up there? If you don't know what light-skinned cousins, it's YT people. All right. So why you want to be like them light-skinned cousins? You know what I'm saying? You're not real no more. Why you sending your kids to a different school district? All that type of stuff. All right. So I do believe in community. I do believe in embracing community you're in. I also believe in when opportunities present themselves, you shouldn't be shamed into having to stay within a certain circumstance, certain environment, if you have the ability to do something different. Now, if that environment is one that you believe you're supposed to support and help grow and nurture, be obedient to that. Now, why do I say this? Because scoffers are people who don't believe in themselves. Scoffers are people who, at the end of the day, you see people whose lives are taken from being robbed or whatever the case may be. It's so many people who don't know their own value that they want to dim your light. You know what I'm saying? Protect your energy, protect your space, protect your mental. All right. if you have individuals around you, it don't matter if they blood related. All right, blood related don't give people guaranteed access to you, baby. All right, I love every one of my family members, but they gonna tell you, Nard is the first person. He will love the HE hockey stick out of you. He give you the wisdom, give you everything you need, but he ain't gonna let you cross that line. If you cross that line, he gonna let you know. I'm very private. There are certain things I'm just not gonna share with you. It ain't your business. You don't have the power to change it for real. You know what I'm saying? So I share with you what I'm led to and what I feel you should know. But I don't need you being a scoffer at what I'm doing. When I decided to do this, Coffee with Leo, and I decided to do this, all right? Most people didn't have a clue what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, there were family members and there were people who encouraged me that, hey, people need to hear what you got to say. But my vision, the things that I'm lining out, which I'll get to at the end of this video, I didn't allow people to dictate or to tell me what would work, what wouldn't work, what about this, what about that. I did a forecast of my own life. I did a risk analysis on the things that I wanted to accomplish. And I also understand without great risk, there are no great rewards. Scoffers will tell you, sometimes your own parents, I love you, mama. And my mama didn't tell me this, y'all, just for clarity. And my father is no longer in the land of the living. And so it ain't my parents, y'all. I'm just saying this does happen. My mom give me great support. All right, so I don't want nobody thinking my mom is like one of my biggest supporters. All right, so my mom was actually one that told me, keep doing this. God called you to do it. So it ain't my mom. My mom is solid. So sometimes, but I've seen this. Sometimes it's your own parents. I had to put that disclaimer out there so y'all don't come for my mama. All right, because I get you. Sometimes it's your own parents, and I've seen this, where people have great visions and parents have a vision for their children, and they want their children to go a certain direction. And the children can want to do arts and whatnot. They may want to invest into music, arts, whatever the case may be. And the parent may be like, no, you need to go into this field as a doctor or as a lawyer or this and that, because this is where you can make money, because that's what the parent understands. They're not wrong that you can have this success, but something in you, the gift in you, what God gave you, is connecting with something different. All right. So sometimes even your parents and loved ones and those close, they scoff at your idea of something that's internal and like, all right. Prime example. One of the apps that you're watching me on now, the blue app, the book face, was an idea of a college student that I guarantee you, when his parents signed off on that student loan, they didn't imagine he would drop out of college to pursue a platform that nobody really understood. All right, you got to understand at the time that Zuckerberg put that blue app together, him and whoever helped create it. All right, we had MySpace, Black Planet, we had all these different apps. People were really gearing toward this thing. It was the future. All right, and it kicked off. Somebody scoffed at the idea. You know how I know? Because there's a lot of people that didn't partner that was around him. All right, you can't wait for people to see your vision and get your vision. People are going to scoff. People are going to doubt. People are going to say, hey, that's too expensive. People are going to say, people don't do that anymore. People are going to say, it's too many people already doing that. You're going to get doubters and naysayers, man. Don't turn a deaf ear to that. Turn a deaf ear to it. I promise you. All right? So that's the scoffer. I'm going to move forward. Who's the naive? All right? What is being naive? I'm going to tell you like this. Being naive is something that we all have been or currently do or can be. No one on this planet is all knowing. All right. No one on this planet gets it. You know why people get scammed and why scamming business is more than $1 trillion market? Scamming is because people are naive. We see our elderly people get scammed and get over it. You know what I'm saying? It can be somebody walking up. It can be a tornado and a storm out, and it can blow your roof off or whatever the case may be. And somebody can knock on your door and want to give you an estimate to fix your roof, give you these great rates and whatever the case may be. They can have flyers, business cards, websites, all of that stuff. And it can look like they're a legit contractor. All right. And you get ripped off and you see it on the news all the time. You can get people calling you and saying, hey, this is the IRS. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this, and that, and you get scammed. You can look and get an email saying this is the U.S. Post Office. You have a package here that's undeliverable. Do this, and that. All right, there are scammers that if you lose your wallet, there are so many different scams that the reason people get got is because they're naive to that element. All right, we're not all wise across the board in everything. All right, as much as God give me wisdom and knowledge, there are several areas I'm naive in, and that my partners and my people, I lean on them to help me see things. I got cousins. I got female cousins that I call them like, hey, I need a big sister moment. All right, because I don't, have a biological older sister. You know what I'm saying? I have sisters, but I don't have a biological older sister that I can go to and get the game from. So I have an extended sister. I love you, Nicole. I love you, T. All right. I ain't talking about y'all. I said biological. I know I can call y'all. All right. So what I'm saying is I got cousins that I call and be like, hey, I need a little brother moment. I need you to put me on game. All right. I don't know everything. All right. So being naive isn't a thing, whereas you need to be embarrassed about it. Sometimes we let our pride and our ego get the best of us, to whereas it's just like, hey, now I got this. You ain't finna get me. Yes, you can get got. It's more than $1 trillion business of scamming. People get got all the time. You know what I'm saying? People can walk by and they got devices that can scan your credit card while it's in your pocket. All right. I got a partner that's here in Atlanta I went to school with, and we was out whatnot. He like, hey man, put that over here, do this. I'm like, really? And he works in that industry, so he knows devices and whatnot. I didn't know. I was naive. I've been wearing my wallet and my phone a certain way forever, and I didn't know somebody could steal my information that way. But it took somebody who worked in that industry to say, hey, do this. Why? Because I was naive to what was out there. Every day there's something new being created to get over on you. All right. So the naive is all of us. None of us are exempt for being naive. All right. So when the scoffer is punished, the naive observes the lesson. All right. However, you can learn from what somebody else fails at and becomes wise. But when the wise and the teachable person is instructed, he receives knowledge. All right. So sometimes we look and sometimes we do laugh when we see people, that stumble over something, get got, and we just like, glad that wasn't me. All right. Everybody get a turn. So at some point in life, you're going to get a turn with something that somebody going to laugh at you about. Dang, glad it wasn't me. All right. So we all are naive. We all gain knowledge. And we all play the fool. All right. So understand. All right. That was a proverb I had to take my time on because there were so many elements, so many ways to unpack it. And that's why I say read one verse. Sometimes we want to read a whole paragraph. We want to read the Bible like it's a book. All right. That one verse, that one proverb, I'd probably spend over 10 minutes dissecting. All right. Because you have to understand what's the origin of a word. Where did it come from? All right, I'm gonna put this back up. What's the origin of the word? What's the origin of a scoffer? What's the origin of naive? What's the origin of knowledge? You have to break down a scripture. This is one scripture. You know what I'm saying? And I had to read it from different versions. Sometimes we get stuck on the King James version that we discredit other versions. All right. I won't go down that well hole right there. All right. I get lost, man. When I started breaking down all of that stuff, I get off base. I don't want to get off base. So I'm going to stay on point with this business stuff. All right. But I'm going to teach y'all about that another time. All right. So this goes into the golden opportunity. What's the golden opportunity? Your business, your vision, what it is, you know what I'm saying, you can do with it. So your business is a living vessel. And if you're tuning in, don't worry about it. 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to keep it rolling today. I'm going to get through all of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm taking my time, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna just go through all of it. All right. So your business is a living vessel. This is what y'all came for. What's the golden opportunity? Outside of all those great affirmations and all of that, what business do you have? If you have a current business, if you're developing a business, understand there's levels to this. All right. If it's in your head and it's a vision, it's an embryo. You know what I'm saying? It still needs to be birthed. You need to understand, what you need to do to bring this to life. So When a woman is carrying and she's expecting, you know what I'm saying? They encourage her to take vitamins and supplements, water aerobics, exercise, so that when it's time to have the birth, it's a lot easier. All right. So you have to understand there are nutritional benefits to your baby and your child if you do certain things in the whole aspect of being pregnant, and you do it before you have the baby. All right. Your body can bounce back if you exercise while you're pregnant and whatnot. It's proven. So if you're carrying, you're expecting, you're pregnant, it's okay and safe to exercise. Refer to your doctor and a specialist. However, they'll tell you the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They may give you, depending on what stage you're in, depending on the risk factors. There are so many factors. Not everybody carries the same. So I'm not trying to play Dr. Leo and tell you go exercise. Refer to your doctor, depending on how you can carry it for whatever terms or not. Use wisdom. All right. In most cases, there are stretches, there's water aerobics, there's different things you can do that when after you have this baby, it makes the delivery a lot easier and your body bounces back. All right. But on the business aspect, look at it in the same way. There are certain things that if you in preparation for launching your business, when you launch your business, the traffic that you get would be different than if you just open it up spontaneously. If somebody tell you you make great spaghetti, you can open a business. All right. One of the things that I do very well is I cook. I cook a lot. I show a lot of pictures. All right. I understand the element of a restaurant and business. I understand the financial aspects of it. I understand what it takes. Even if I was to do a food truck, I understand all these elements that although the food is good, you still got labor costs. You still got appreciation. I understand the fluctuation of vegetables and fruits and all of these different things. Eating healthy is expensive as all get out. I can go to the grocery store and what used to cost $5 at Aldi's costs over $20 just getting some vegetables and fruits. All right. So what am I saying? You have to do the work. You have to treat your business and your vision the same way you would treat a newborn and an embryo, and you're bringing it into life. All right. It's a living vessel. It needs feeding and nutrition. All right. What wisdom, what nutrition can you offer this child? Look at your business, your vision as a child, all right, that you have to raise. All right. It's the same as if you go get a pet. When it's a puppy, you got to potty train it, right? You got to send it to school to learn commands if you're doing it a certain way, if you're doing it right. Or you have to teach it commands. Teach it sit, teach it stay, don't eat. That way, just like a child, it doesn't run out into the street. It doesn't attack people, whatever the case may be. There's an aspect of taking ownership of something and being accountable and responsible for something that you're taking on. Look at your vision, look at your business the same way. You got to protect and train and raise your business in the same way you would do your child, a pet, and anything else that doesn't know yet. Your business doesn't know what it doesn't know. And if you look at it in the aspect that you're teaching and training your business, you're setting the foundation for what you want your business to be. Your business will reward you. All right. So look at your business as a living vessel. The same way you love your pets, the same way you love your kids, look at your business that way. It's your baby. All right. Now that I got that through your head, the age of your business has an age. Just like your puppies, just like your babies, your business, it's a newborn. And if it's not, I get into if it's already existing. And that goes into the maturity of it. But I'm going to slow down. So the age of your business, this can range from the conception to old and stubborn. That's important, old and stubborn. All right. Knowing the age of your business helps to properly nurture it for proper growth. Even if it's in existing, it can grow. You know what I'm saying? Look at Netflix and Blockbuster. There was one time in life where Blockbuster was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You had video stores. You know what I'm saying? That was a thing to go in and go pick up a movie. All right. Redbox came in and took over. Then Netflix came in and knocked Redbox out. All right. So if you got a business, you can't look at I'm doing okay. I'm already doing well. All right. You have to forecast. You have to look to see what's coming. You have to take opportunities. And just like doors opening up, there are going to be doors to open up to advance your business and keep your business relevant. All right. So I'm going to put this back up there. So the age of your business can be conception, getting it off the ground, or it can be in the middle. It can be old and stuck. Let me start with the conception of your business. So the conception of your business is just like I said. You have to understand, and I'll bring somebody on for this part. There are individuals that can help you properly license your business. There are so many different aspects of you don't know what you don't know. You don't know if you need an S corp. You don't know if you need an LLC. You don't know if a sole proprietor. You don't know the tax benefits solely of starting a business. Only thing you know, people said you make good fried chicken and spaghetti. So you want to open up a restaurant. How do you protect it? All right. Do you need to trademark? Do you need to copyright? All right. If you do it, do you put your name in the logo so you can copyright it and you can trademark it and you got copyrights as well? How do you do all of this? What's the best method? A business coach. All right. You need financial guidance, an accountant. All right. You need a tax preparer. You need all of these elements. You need a business attorney. You need so many elements before you even start that if you start wrong, you know what I'm saying? When it goes time to do your paperwork and filings and whatnot, and they shut you down for a temporary period or whatever, you can't get open. You done spent $100,000, and now you can't even get your storefront open because the city codes, all type of things are now telling you, no, you need this, this, and that. You need this type of hood, that type of hood. You're like, well, I just want to sell fried chicken. All right. Depending on the municipality, the city that you're trying to register your business in, they all have different rules. They have different guidelines of what you have to do and whatnot. And so if you don't have a good business manager and consultant that's helping you navigate before you even open the doors, guess what? You can be in debt tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars before you even get going. It's the same with real estate. You can get into this real estate business because you see everybody, every other person on your page is in real estate. And they're talking about how much money they're making off of real estate. And you think it's a great idea to go to the courthouse, buy a property, and start doing it yourself. All right. You have no clue about the codes, the wiring, the plumbing. You have no clue if you're in a certain area, if there's a stream that runs behind and what you're responsible for. You have no clue the tens and thousands of dollars that it costs to dig something up. There are so many elements of what you need to research and learn and know before you get into it, before you launch. Why? Because it's going to cost you. Not just financially, time. And then by the time you really get it kicked off, do you have the excitement, the zeal to keep pushing? Or are you burnt out and ready to sell it, get it off your hands because the cost was too extreme? All right. So again, you have to understand if it's an infant and a baby, some infants and babies cannot sustain certain aspects like COVID-19. What am I talking about? The age range, the maturity of your business. All right. So when COVID-19 happened, there are several businesses that didn't have the structure and the infrastructure to sustain a year or 2 years of bad business. All right. I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that I observed with this and the why. A couple of things why some people didn't survive is because they wasn't working in their business. They wasn't working on their business. All right. They had overhead where they were paying people to work there and whatnot. And so when times got hard and nobody was walking through the door, all right, all that money, instead of being in their business, working in their business and on their business, now all that profit that you didn't put aside and that you didn't put up and whatnot, you have nothing to fall back on. It was a lot of businesses that were going from check to check. All right. And they were depending on somebody walking through their door. All right. So some businesses didn't reopen because the infrastructure wasn't solid. All right. I would say this about a lot of Asian-owned businesses that I see. it doesn't matter how long they've been open. A lot of times I see the owners working in their businesses. You know what I'm saying? They got family working in their businesses. And I know that that's a touchy subject. We'll come back to whether we should do business with family or not. A lot of people say, no, it doesn't work out. The right family, yes, you can. The right family, y'all can make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? You can get this popping with the right family and the right friends. I'm a component that you can have successful business with friends and family. All right, I've seen it. All right, so I'm gonna stay on topic. Now, old and stubborn with your business. Again, we're talking about the maturity of your business. So with old and stubborn, all right, this is one of those you can't tell. What they say, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? If you're patient and present, you know, and whatnot, you have a certain respect. You know, there are dogs that I've seen, even in age. You know what I'm saying? If you spend time with them or whatever, it's the same thing. Don't let your dog get old and don't give him no attention and expect to come 3 years later. Oh, let me teach you this. I saw something on YouTube. Your dog gonna look at you crazy. But if you spend time with your dog, if you're walking your dog, you know what I'm saying? You're your dog best friend as well. Your dog wants to make you happy. He wants to please you. So guess what? That dog is willing to do things. All right. And people get more out of what they invest into versus what they ignore. All right. So just because you own a name of a business doesn't make you a business owner. When you launch it or when you have it, it makes you the first employee of that segment. It makes you a taxpayer. That's what it makes you. But a true business is applying the principles and the practices to have flow, all right, to have residual and whatnot. So being a business owner is more than just having the ownership rights of the name and then having cash come back to you. There are so many different principles that we don't have enough time today to go through all of those principles. However, I've seen a lot of people who don't accept wisdom, knowledge, and constructive advice because this is the way I've been doing it. Say less. Let me know where you need me. All right. So you got to know where you need it, where you want it, and when you're being overzealous if you're a consultant. All right. And you have to see when there's a need. There are some people that are really open, like, hey, it was a good idea. I got it off the ground. If you know something different than I know, I'm open to it. All right. And I'm a person where I love my clients to be educated consumers. All right. Some of them don't like it. However, educated consumers are the best consumers. You know, educated consumers are the best consumers because I have a background in marketing. All right. I can tell you, and my customers and my clients that have done business with me, I've been able to tell them about the market. When the market is about to go down, left, right now we're in the election season at the time of this recording. Anytime there's an election season, things are going to tank for the first quarter a little bit as far as the return on your investment marketing wise. Yes, you're going to get some results and whatnot, but some of those results may be marketing from the previous year. Don't get it twisted that, okay, people are still coming. That's not your current marketing. All right. In election seasons, corporate companies, they like to see what's going to happen with who's running, you know what I'm saying, what bills they have on the table, what taxes, what tax breaks, or, you know, what benefits are going to be presented, so on and so forth. So as they stop spending and they stop utilizing, we just had a Super Bowl. You didn't see any great Super Bowls. Spending is up. All right. If you look at the stock market, if you really look at business growth, even the job market has increased by like 30%. All right. In certain states, there's almost 3% growth in new employment. So companies are hiring people. They're making money. There's a need. All right. So why aren't they spending advertising dollars? Because a lot of times advertising dollars is based on where the market is going. All right. And if the market is headed in a certain direction, or they're unsure who's going to be government, who's going to be president, so on and so forth, they're sitting. All right. They're sitting. If certain bills are going to give them cuts and breaks. So what do you do as a small business owner? All right. You follow the trend. It's not rocket science. You pay attention to the market, the stock market. You hire Leo. Leo can tell you, hey, this is where corporate companies are going. This is what's going on with the market. All right. This is when you want to start doing this. You typically get about 10% in return on your marketing investment. So whatever you're investing into, you know, market dollars, whatever, count about 10% return on that. If you're trying to reach 6,000 people, know the actual number of people that gets touched is probably around 600. All right. And out of that 10%, who's going to respond? And I get into the market of those people. That's why I'm taking my time. All right. So all in all, the age of your business, the range and all of that, from the maturity of it, from being an infant, the middle, old and stubborn, it's going to vary, man. So hit me up. I do business coaching if you want more insight on that. All right. Maturity of your business, much like people will vary, it's important to know the foundation and strength of your company. All right. The foundation is a whole total piece. All right. Again, hit me up if you don't have a solid foundation, a solid structure, solid staffing. Hit me up. I can better explain to you how to establish a solid foundation or how to establish one before you open your doors. Both of them matters, and it's never too late to go back and work on your business. Key elements such as financial strength, residual customers, and referrals will help determine the company maturity. All right. During COVID-19, it wasn't a lot you can do about that. Referrals just wasn't it. You had to have a solid financial backing. You know what I'm saying? And your reputation has to be good. There's so many factors when hard times hit. All right. And we might not have a COVID-19 like that again, but there's definitely droughts. There are seasons of droughts. There are seasons of plentiful, and then there are seasons of droughts. It's like clockwork. And so in your season of plentiful, you know what I'm saying, you have to know how to put some things aside and how to work on that. All right. The personality of your business, generally a company, personality starts with the founders. All right. It starts with you. However, as a company increase with diversity, adjustments should be considered. I say that because I had somebody recently let me know. It's Black History Month. And so I've been doing a lot of promotion and protection of the Black woman. I have a special segment that I'm doing Friday and panel on Friday. I got some brothers I invited, and I'm sending them some links today on, hey, here's the link so that we can rock together and do this segment. All in all, you have to understand what all of that means. All right. So although I'm pushing protection of the Black woman during Black History Month, I had some people who inquired like, hey, is that all you talk about? Or you only protecting Black women? You know, I'm Asian. You know, you have Asian followers. And they were correct. It was more than one individual. And they are correct. All right. I do have a diverse group of followers. I have light-skinned cousins. The continent of Africa in itself has so many countries that follow me. And believe it or not, as countries, there are countries in Africa that are the largest viewers of Leo. All right. Yes, they beat out the United States. All right. So just my insight shows me just globally, there are people around the globe that watches me. All right. So there are people of all creeds and color. However, no, although I am aware that there are people of different cultural backgrounds and ethnic groups that follow me and watch me. However, it's still Black History Month. My mom is a Black woman. My women in my family, my sisters, I've seen a lot and experienced a lot where I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't bring attention to it. I did segments on Safe Space because I saw videos of people that looked like they were in uncomfortable situations. So I do acknowledge that I have a diverse group of people. Thus, typically, my videos doesn't depict and isn't always about cultural people, you know, the cultural aspect of Black people. And it does cover people in general. I've said it before, I said it again. There's one race of people, the human race. Yes, we have different genetics. We culturally, we have different things. And I embrace that. I love ethnicity. I love trying different foods and different ethnic experiences. All right. However, I'm still a brother. I'm still speak to my people, especially during this month. All right. So I pray that you have patience and give me the grace to make sure that I address the things that need it. And I acknowledge that I have a diverse group of people that I will continue to speak to as well. So with that, as a business, as a personality, as individuals, we have to understand we can be a Black-owned business without excluding other people. All right. And you have to understand it takes a community. Community is more than just your ethnic group. And so in business, you have to understand, are you hurting yourself by trying to incorporate just this market of black owned, or do you expand? Because last time I checked, when I go to urban neighborhoods, you got her shops that are mostly owned by Asians. Most of the restaurants, the chicken shops and all of that are owned by Asians. You know what I'm saying? Or Middle Eastern. And so when you really look at the dynamic of your community, or most of the business even owned by people that look like you, even if you go into the suburbs, it's diverse now. Any community you go into, almost, even if you go into Chinatown, in Chinatown, you have individuals that are now growing. And why is it even called Chinatown? Because they took their ethnic backgrounds, but although it's called Chinatown, there's still different dynamics of Asian cultural groups that are there. Now, all of them are of the same ethnic background. All right, so you can have a place called Little Africa. Africa is a continent. All right, it has about 55 countries. So you can have a community that's called Little Africa, and then it can have Nigerian food, Ethiopian food, and all of that, and it's going to be different taste palettes, all right, and different methods. So you have to understand, in business, what are you truly trying to accomplish? Are you alienating people, or are you making them feel welcome? You know, and I get into the target market, the reality market, and all that in just 1 second. And so before I get to that, another element of personality can be set toward a target market. All right. So what's the target market? I'm glad you asked. So target market. So your target market is finding a specific group in which your product and service is intended for. So we get stuck on target market, that we don't pay attention to the reality market and the correlation. All right. So we have a target market. That's the group that you want to accomplish. So having an idea of a group of consumers that are likely to purchase or utilize your service. Most of the time we feel it's our community, people that look like us, so on and so forth. But being aware of the company's potential can be challenging, but being confident enough. Understand this. We assume that people like us like what we like. All right. There are people of all cultural backgrounds. Right now, take music, for example. If you take hip hop, it's been known, widely known, that the largest consumer, Caucasian kids, are the largest consumers of hip hop music. They know the words. Ask any artist, when they go to concerts, it's mostly Caucasian kids and then adults that attend. Yes, we attend and we like our artists, but guess what? It's other cultures that like our artists more. Your business is the same way. You know what I'm saying? Don't alienate and miss out on great opportunities because you figure, because you're whatever cultural background, that's your segment. All right? Open up. Allow them doors that's opening up to open up. And don't alienate groups or people or cultures simply because they don't look like you. Your business isn't always you. Your business is a service. It's a product. All right? It can be geared to a specific group, but it can benefit a multitude. And so understand that. You may be missing out on great opportunities because you're tunnel vision. Don't get tunnel vision. All right? Reality market. So your reality market pertains to the average demographic and existing group of customers of a particular group. All right? So the reality market is those people that's walking through your door. You know what I'm saying? The people that's actually walking through your door, rocking with you, doing business, people that's shopping online, sometimes you don't even know these people. If you have an online presence, it's people that go on your online faithfully. They don't even know you. They like quality, they like the price, whatever. So there's a reality group. All right. Much like personality of a company can change the diversity and growth. Of the reality market. You got to keep that in mind. Geographic sometimes played a role. Right now, we're an online world. Amazon is $1 billion corporation because people have navigated to online. So yes, you can have a strong geographic presence, but even your largest brand that are creative, whether they started in Texas, whatever, they're expanding to other areas because COVID actually helped us. It pushed us to have to get in front of these cameras and communicate through that way. and pushed them in front of social media, that it gave exposure to people that was not in our neighborhood before. And so there are people that are expanding simply off of geographic benefits. So you can't look at it just trying to service your community. All right. Your community can be just like mine. My community is always in Ethiopia, Nigeria, Lagos, and Asia, and Australia, and London, and all these other places and people that I've communicated with all around the world. So it's no longer just East St. Louis and Atlanta. You know, I got people in LA and Houston that rock with me. You know what I'm saying? I was shocked that New York and Jersey and all of that. It's people that tune in from New York. And so look at it that way. All right. So company rates, quality of service, and overall message help determine who responds and or inquire about services. So yes, there's a price factor, but don't get overwhelmed by the price factor, because there are measurements that goes into pricing. All right. You can't try to match your burger and chicken wings with your competitors' chicken wings and burgers. You don't know how much they paid for a case of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how much they paid for all the elements of the toppings and the sauce and the utensils. Or y'all shopping with the same vendors and at the same place. All right. My beanie that I'm wearing may be of a different quality. So just because somebody else selling a beanie, and when they were selling face masks, are y'all using the same material? What's your cost? What's your labor cost, your overhead cost, and all of that? Your pricing has to have a science to it. And if you don't know how to do that, give it a business coach like Leo Richards, and I help you figure out what your prices should be, not based on what the competition is. All right. They're just like me. If somebody inquire of my service, all right, and I give them a rate, they're like, well, other people charge this. They're not Leo Richards. They're not giving you the full caboodle of other elements that you're going to get from me. All right. So you limit your exposure and access to you increase your value. All right. So I'm not going to devalue myself by giving prices that my competitors give. That's them. All right. They probably typed in the computer how much to charge for something, and that's what they went off of. I go off of the quality and the value of my time, what my time is worth. All right. Fat Joe said, yesterday prices are not today's prices. All right. There's an increase right now. Right now, everything has heightened in price. All right. Gas went up. Everything went up. All right. So you got to pay your bills. All right. Some companies promote discounts and low prices while another focus on image and quality. Focus on your image, focus on your quality. Don't price yourself out of the market, but make sure that you stay true to who you are, and don't play yourself. All right. Correlation markets. All right. What's the correlation market? Correlation refers to the degree to which the reality market or the target market moves in relation to each other. You want both of them, to be honest. All right. You got your target market, people you want to go, and sometimes it can be the same. All right. Sometimes you may see that a different group of people are being drawn to you than you imagine. All right. So how do you reach both of them? That's the correlation. So understanding market correlation is crucial for business owners and analysts. So if you have somebody doing marketing for you, that's an analyst, and they're promoting your TikTok page, and they tell you, hey, I can do this for you, digital marketing or whatever. Understand that there are metrics and whatnot. Are they truly gearing their service toward your business, or do they have a cookie cutter approach to everything? All right. So you got to diversify with advertisement and predicting the market. Which way is the market going? Can they really tell you which way the market is going? So all of this allowed me to run over my time. I got a couple of things I'm gonna give to you, and then I'll let you go and enjoy your Wednesday. But this is working Wednesday, and sometimes you got to do a little overtime. So I did overtime today. All right. So those are the dynamics of your target market, reality market, correlation. I can go into more details if you like to inquire. Inbox me, email me, and I got you covered. The Leoism of the day. All right. Be careful if you have a wounded heart. Wolves can smell blood from a mile away. All right. How does this relate to this? Yes, I got it in other segments. It relates to this because if you've been disappointed in business, You know what I'm saying? If you're in a certain place, you got predators in all areas. Like I said early in the video, we all are naive to a certain extent. All right. There are wolves. There are people that are on here that tell you they can build your credit. All right. And you get them this money. I can help you get business credit. All right. All type of wolves, opportunists, scammers. I just said earlier, there are scammers everywhere. If you're in a position where you're, I don't want to say thirsty, but don't be desperate for anything. And if you're beat down about trying to get off the ground, whatever, something ain't working, and you just reaching like, I just need help. If you get to that point, wolves smell blood. Well, how much you willing to pay? I can fix it for you. You still got to be mindful enough, balanced enough to be able to discern individuals that's truly out for you versus individuals who are trying to get a quick buck. They're gonna take your $100, $200, whatever they charge you, and then they're gonna keep it moving on to the next person. And you're not really getting service and help. So be mindful of being watchful of wolves. They smell blood a mile away. Your heart can be into this thing and you're not getting the results. And when you get discouraged and burnt out and you look for help, it's wolves out there that's gonna take advantage of you. All right. And then finally, what's next? All right. So what's next is, as I've told you guys, one, thank you for being day ones. Thank you for rocking with me. This was a pilot. All right. This being a pilot, all right, I'm now transitioning to the next stages of Coffee with Leo and Balancing Life with Leo Richards. All right. So I took these mornings to really do lives, to really understand how to do this, to get a format and a blueprint of what God wants me to do with mine, with Coffee with Leo and Balancing Life. All right. I believe I have my blueprint. I believe I have the structure and the direction that I'm going. Now there are some other elements that I need to put together. So tomorrow I have a special guest, Miss Shantae Cotton, who's going to do Healthy Thursdays with me. You don't want to miss that. All right. I'm going to put the flyer up for tomorrow. Tune in. All right. Friday, I'm going to do a recap. All right. And then Friday evening, all right, I'm going to do a special segment on building community and the protection of the Black woman. And I have special guests Friday evening. Now, what's next after that? Your boy taking a break. So all next week, I'm off. All right. Doing some back work, taking care of some personal things and whatnot. And so I'm going to take my time, set things up so that I come back with Coffee with Leo, Balancing Life in an advanced version. So if you haven't seen some of the flyers I've done, if you haven't seen some of the promotions, I'm tinkering. I'm learning this thing so that I can bring you the best product, the best messages. All right. In order to do that, I got to take a break. Not because of burnout. Don't get it twisted. I'm not burnt out. It was intentionally a pilot from the jump. It was designed for me to get accustomed to setting this platform up that fits me. All right. So just like I spoke to you about your business and framing it, whether and it's been a baby. All right. This is my baby. Coffee with Leo, Balancing Life with Leo Richards is my baby. All right. This is the first time in life I've done this. I'm normally behind the scenes, not in front of the camera. And so what's next is continue to go over to YouTube. If you haven't saw the other episodes, guess what? I will still be editing those old videos. I'll be promoting reels and things of that nature to get you over there to watch or whatever the case may be, because I see the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody went over there to watch. So I'm going to be pushing you to go watch that. And if you've enjoyed this pilot, if you've gotten something out of it, it costs to do this. All right. So share it. Make sure that it's supported so that I can come back to do more. All right. So that's what's next. You know what I'm saying? It needs support to continue doing it. I can't sit in front of the camera and just do this all the time. I do the editing. I do my own writing. There's so many elements of piecing this thing together in order to bring you the best quality product. I have several platforms that are coming up, all right, that you can be of support financially, sharing, all of that, all right. I have sponsors and connections that I'm reaching out to. So all in all, this is going to the next level. In order to take it to the next level, I have to sit down for a little bit and piece it together. I know what needs to be done. And in order to do that, I have to take the time that I'm writing and putting this together and put it into the next level. So again, that's what's next. Tune in tomorrow for Healthy Thursdays with my special guest, Shantae Cotton. Tune in Friday evening. So Friday morning will be a short Coffee with Leo because I'm going to save everything. It'll be a recap of everything this week. And so I'm going to still do the recap. However, Friday evening is where you want to be at. All right. I'm going to have a panel of some like-minded individuals on how we can support and build community and answer questions. So if you have questions, inbox me questions, concerns. Why? You know what I'm saying? I've had people to post, why do black men hate black women? Why is it so difficult? You got the same type of question. It doesn't matter what your question is. This is an opportunity that while I have a panel of brothers, we can, as brothers, discuss this. Get your answers, whether it be dating. You know, why do men react to this? There was one that I had, is he overprotective or is he trying to help? That's something that we're going to discuss. So if it's anywhere in the realm of anything you really want to understand, something about your ex or whatever, send it to me. I welcome the questions. So as we put this panel together, you know what I'm saying, we're answering your questions, queens. All right. So thank you. I know I went way over today, but I didn't want to do another one of those come back next week because I had too much information. I believe this is great information for somebody who wants to start a business, that has a business. And if you need more details and help, I offer consulting services. All right. Inbox me. I send you emails, send you instructions and whatnot, and we'll get it cracking from there. So that's what's next. Tune in tomorrow, 7 a.m. Coffee with Leo Richards with special guest Shantae Cotton. Man, a wealth of knowledge. Banging Bodies is her business. And so we'll get more into that tomorrow. All right. As always, spiritual mental lifestyle in that order. Thank you for tuning in again. It was a good one.